Hi, this is Jean, and welcome to the 6th episode of my knitting podcast. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these. I hit kind of like a little slump in terms of knitting. I'm not sure what happened. I think I kind of wanted to focus on other areas of my life, like trying to exercise more, eat healthier. Work has also been really busy and more stress than I was dealing with before. So I think all of that compounded to me not having as much focused time for knitting, but I'm back now. I think I've adjusted to my new routine, and let's get right into it. It's already the end of summer. I feel like summer for me has really flown by. We had a really long and dreary spring here in SoCal, so for some reason I thought the summer would also drag out a few months after the technical end of summertime, but no, it's already cooling down. Today is quite a gloomy day. It's 11 a.m. and the sun is barely out and the sky is covered by clouds. So I guess it's time to head right into fall knits already. I do wish I got out more summer knits. I do find that I wear my summer knits the most often, so maybe next year. But also I live in SoCal, so I feel like I can knit summer knits year round. I won't let the season stop me. So we can start with my first finished object, which is something that I haven't shown before because I've been away for so long, and that's what I'm wearing today. And this t-shirt is the Chamomile t-shirt. It's also called the Camille t-shirt, I think. That's the original name for it, and I think for English they translated it to chamomile t-shirt for some reason. This pattern is from Sandnesgarn's catalogs, one of the catalogs. It's catalog 2104, and it's called like Summer Lady or something. So I'll stand up a bit so you can get a better idea of what it looks like. So as you can see, it's a really oversized raglan collared blouse. I knit this in the recommended yarn. It's the Sandnesgarn Tynn Line. Yes, let me see. I have the tag. Tynn Line, and it's 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. So perfect summer yarn. The color I bought is 6061. Yeah, so I love this yarn. This yarn has a very, I think it's the same gauge as Knitting for Olive's silk, pure silk, but the knitting experience is a lot more pleasant, I find. It glides a lot more smoothly across my needles than the pure silk did. And the finished object, well, I do really like the drape of pure silk as well, but this one, I feel like it's more even. I don't know. I'm just really into this yarn. I did see that Pure Silk came out with some really cute new colors though, so I'll probably continue using both, to be honest. But yeah, I really enjoyed knitting with Tynn Line, and I think I'll definitely buy more for next summer. So the size I made for this blouse is extra small, and it's knit on size 3mm needles. And yeah, size 3mm needles. It didn't take me too long to make. First, let me show you the leftover of the yarn I still have. So this is the last of the 4th ball. It only took me four balls to make this, and they are 50-gram balls, so really not much. Yeah. Oh, as you can see, as with a lot of like summer yarns, it does tend to split. Oh, let me try to get focus. Well, you can see that it's splitting. Yeah, it does tend to split a little bit, but I didn't really mind. You just have to like focus a little bit more while you're knitting, and try to catch all 3 strands of it. For the pattern itself, so this is my first time following a Sandnesgarn pattern from their catalog, even though I have 2 of them. I need to knit more. But I found that their patterns are a lot less descriptive than what I'm used to, since I've started out with petite knit patterns, and she is very, very clear and very explicit. But for this one, they use a lot fewer, they're a lot more concise. They use a lot fewer words than they need to. First, I don't have the catalog here. Oh, it's fine. Anyways, the whole pattern, it doesn't even take up a page of text. I think it's maybe half a page of text. Well, granted, it is a raglan, so it's a little simpler, but still, I'm used to like 7 pages of a pattern from petite knit and people like Ozetta and my favorite things knitwear. So it was a little bit of a struggle in some parts, but because I've knit raglan before and I could look up the few things that I wasn't sure about, it wasn't a big deal. And actually I found it nice to not have so much text to read through. I do prefer the less descriptive patterns that don't go into every single detail now that I'm a little more experienced. So yeah, it was a good experience knitting the pattern. This is actually a bottom-up raglan, which is my first time doing that. So yeah, you start with the body, you cast on the ribbing, you go all the way up here, and then you start the sleeves bottom up as well. And then you attach them from the underarms, and then you decrease with the raglans while making the V-neck, and then you finish off with the collar. Oh, first you cast off, and then you do this part, and then you finish off with the collar. Yeah. So it was a bit of a slog, but it was, I liked how simple it was at the start. Like, it was mindless knitting in the round stockinette, which I do tend to enjoy. I was a little worried about the length. If you see the stock picture that Sandnesgarn has, I'll put it right here. It's extremely oversized, and the model looks way taller than me as well. So I wish they put what size the model is wearing in this t-shirt, because I had no idea. I did not want mine as long as hers, especially in the sleeve area. It like goes past her elbows. I didn't think that would be, I think it looks great on her, but I don't think it would be super flattering on me. So I was worried about the length of those while I was knitting, because it's bottom up obviously. But I think I just stopped knitting 3 centimeters shorter for the body and for the arms, and I like how it turned out. The body is exactly where I like it. My belly button's like right here, so it's just like a little past. I guess it's like a normal length shirt. Yeah. Oh, I did run into a slight hitch with the stitch counts. Because there's like so many stitches around here. I think somehow one of the arms, I think it has like 2 stitches more than the pattern calls for, and the other arm has 2 stitches less. I'm not sure how it got shifted like that, but when I found out, I was already like decreasing up to here. And I really did not want to go back and do it. And because the stitches are so small, I was pretty sure I would not be able to notice, and I was absolutely correct. I cannot tell any difference between the 2 sleeves. So I'm really glad I did not go back and redo it. I love the shirt. I've been wearing it so much. The neck hole is quite very extreme. I just wear like a tank top under if I wear it to work, or if I want to be a little more proper, but I don't mind wearing without either. I did see a project on Ravelry where the knitter, she put some buttons along here, and I did consider that, but I don't think I would ever wear it like this. And I think having a button here would kind of interfere with the very effortless look I feel this pattern gives. And the collar, I think it's a really it's a very smallish collar. And then the back, when I was blocking it, I wasn't sure how to block it, but I ended up blocking it with the collar down, so that's why it just folds down naturally. But I saw in the the sample from Sandnesgarn, the collar kind of stands up. I do like that look, but I don't know if I'm going to reblock it. Also, when I first blocked it, you know how when you lay it down, the sleeves will always have a line just because of it has to crease somewhere. So after I first blocked it, the sleeves are really flaring out, and I was pretty unhappy with how it looked. But I just wet it again, and I just blocked this side flat, and it turned out great. I do feel like there's a lot of fabric down here, but I mean, it's a raglan, and that's how you get the really loose body. So I don't really mind it. I think it looks fine when my arms are down. It kind of reminds me of like a poncho, but it's fine. I am very satisfied with this project, and I don't think I would ever knit it again. If I wanted to knit another one, I would try a top-down one. I don't see any purpose in knitting it bottom up. But yeah, it was a good experience. Now I know I can do it. I think that's pretty much all I want to say for this pattern. Okay, my second finished object. This one you did see last podcast. It's these adorable socks. Ooh, they're so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to show the front of the pattern. I'll also put oh my gosh, how cute is that? I'll put a picture of them stretched out over my foot because I think it looks even cuter that way. But yeah, these are the Stella socks by, what's her name? Inka Järvikangas. I'm sorry, that's definitely said wrong, but I thought I would try. The yarn, I use Purlsoho's Posy, and that yarn is 75% superwash wool and 15% cashmere, 10% nylon. So this yarn, it's incredibly soft. Like, I just want to like rub my face all over it. But whenever I get really soft yarn like this, I get really scared of pilling, especially since this is a sock. Obviously, it's going to get a lot of wear. You can see that it's still in really good condition, and that's because I've only worn it like maybe 2 times around the house, because I finished it around the start or middle of summer. So I really am not looking to wear partly cashmere socks of my own free will. So I haven't tested the wear and tear of this yarn yet. Since it's cooling down, I'll probably start wearing these socks, and I'll try to remember to do a little review of what I think of the yarn and how it holds up. I used 2.25 millimeter needles, and I got a 30 stitch gauge on that yarn. And the size I knit, I think there's 2 sizes. I knit the smaller size. So the pattern I really enjoyed. It is a top-down pattern. Top-down pattern. And then you knit the lace, you have a slip stitch heel, and then it's pretty standard construction. Normally I like toe-up patterns just because I like being able to adjust the leg length, but I'm not opposed to top-down patterns. I did enjoy it. It's a free pattern, by the way. I'll link it down below. Do I have anything else to say about this? I don't know. It's just a really cute sock, and I'm excited to wear it. No, that's it. Okay, next sock you haven't seen. Oh, I spoiled it a bit. Next finished object is also a sock, which you haven't seen. And it's these. Also freaking cute. Now these I did wear a bit more because there's no cashmere in it and it feels a lot lighter. This is the back of it. So sorry, it's a little wide, a little stretched out, but I think it looks presentable enough for me to show. So this pattern is the Petal Drop Socks by Handmade by Florence. I was one of the testers for this pattern. It was a really quick test knit because she knows that she put a sock pattern out before, so she pretty much knows that everything's going to be okay. So I think it's just like a quick quality check on it. But I really enjoyed this pattern. First let me say the yarn. The yarn I used West Yorkshire Spinners, signature 4-ply. The content is 75% wool and 25% nylon, and the color is Cardamom. This yarn I bought at a local yarn store. Originally I bought it to make socks for my partner, but so he chose 2 colors in this sock yarn. One was a gray, one was a green, and I did make him some socks, the gray socks. And he's been wearing that, but I asked him if he wants another pair, and he's been pretty non-committal, and I needed some yarn to start the test knit, so I asked if he was okay with me just going ahead and using it, and he said he was fine with it. This yarn, the sales associate at the store, she sold it to us by saying it won some kind of award in England for being the most durable sock or something. But I found that So my partner, he wears the gray socks to sleep a lot, and it has pilled like crazy. He doesn't even wear it outside, he just wears it in bed. I don't think he shifts in bed so much that it should pill that badly. I don't know. Maybe I didn't knit the stitches tight enough. But so far this one has been holding up well. I haven't worn it that much, but it definitely looks like 10 times better than his does. I'll keep wearing it, and again, I'll try to remember to report back on the durability. For the color, at first I didn't like this color too much. I find it a little hard to wear colored socks and pair them with my outfits, but I did find out that I have a tank top in pretty much this exact color, so I've been like being really matchy wearing that green tank top and this sock together. I have a cute picture that I'll show up of me styling it. Yeah. About the pattern itself though, it's top down, also with a slip stitch heel, very similar construction to those Stella socks actually. And the lace pattern, so there's two sizes. One is 58 stitches and the next one I believe is 64 stitches. And depending on which one you choose, they have, Florence gives different lace charts. And so you can see that there's two different types of lace. There's this double lace, and then there's this single row of laces. So I really like the look of the double lace, but because of the size I knit, there's more of the single lace showing at the front. There's more on the back of this double lace. Yeah, at the back you get 3 of those, but yeah, I mean, I can understand the difficulties of charting with lace. That's also why, like, the stitch pattern, I feel like normally socks are 60 stitches, but this one is 58 stitches. Overall, I still think it's adorable. I just think it's a little bit of a shame that I couldn't get more of these, this type of lace. But it still looks really cute on, and honestly, I don't think it would have made a big difference anyways. From far away, it all looks like one lace. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, okay, so the pattern, I believe she says to knit to around here. It's more like ankle socks, but I knit more than the pattern recommends. That's because I misread it, but it doesn't matter. I tend to like slightly longer socks as well. The only sad part about that is that I used 60 grams of this 100 grams skein, and if I didn't knit that extra, then I probably would have come around 50 grams. So it would have been a perfect amount for another set of socks. But it's fine. Like, it's better to get a perfect pair using a little more yarn than you wanted than to get 2 pairs that are like suboptimal. At least that's what I tell myself. And I've been seeing a lot of scrappy sock patterns that I kind of want to try too, so I'll just say it was on purpose. I think that's all I have to say about these socks. I feel like I need to put them down. I've been fiddling with them way too much. But those socks, so handmade by Florence, she has a whole tutorial on knitting lace socks on her YouTube channel. I'll link the video, and the patterns available on her Ravelry as well. She has a pay what you want system going for that sock, so I think that's incredibly generous. And she also has a whole YouTube tutorial on it, so I think that's really cool. So go check it out if you like those socks. And yeah, that's it for my finished objects. And I only have one work in progress as per usual. First, I want to show the bag that it's in. I finally got myself a knitting project bag with a flat bottom. Well, there's a little detour, there's an acquisition, but whatever. This bag, I got from like a local craft fair that was happening in LA. I was really considering buying Petite Knit's recent project bag, the huge one. I've considered it every time she's released a new pattern for it, but I've never bit the bullet. I'm not sure why. I guess I thought it's not cheap, and I could just use tote bags that I have lying around for project bags. So I never sprung for it. I never sprung for it. But this particular bag, when I saw it at the craft fair, I just couldn't say no. I guess it's hard to show you the details, but I'll try to. There are also little pockets inside, similar to how Petite Knit does, but instead of her pockets, I believe they're all small pockets for needles, but this one has four thin pockets and like 2 thicker pockets. So I thought that was really nice because I can stuff like this bag in there instead, or like a folded up pattern or something like that. Yeah, it's also a flat ball. Excuse my tripping over words. It's also flat bottomed, which is essential for a knitting bag, and it's also reversible, so you can have the pockets on the outside. I haven't done that yet, but it's cool that that's an option. And the clasp, it's not a drawstring clasp, but it's a magnetic clasp. I stuffed it too full, so I can't close it right now, but trust me, it closes. The drawstring is more secure, but I never take this bag outside anyways. It's purely for home use, so I find that the magnetic is secure enough for me. If you're interested in the bag, the brand is Shin plus Na. I did not take off the tag, so I'll just show it to you. Yeah, here it is. And then her website is right here. I hope it's okay. I'll also put the details down below if it didn't focus, whatever. But yeah, I've been loving the bag, seriously, and I'm very tempted to get more. And okay, so this right now is the largest size that I bought. She told me at the craft fair she's planning to come out with an even larger size, so that would be the bag for like holding a blanket, I suppose, if I ever want to do that. Okay, I got distracted too much. So my work in progress is this right here. It's quite far along, as you can see. Let me find some way to hold it up. Okay, there you go. It's the Vienna blouse, also from a Sandnesgarn catalog. I've really been on a Sandnesgarn kick lately. Here's the catalog. I remembered to bring it out. Yeah, and it's this cover pattern. Super cute. Let me see if I can kind of put it on so you can kind of see how it's progressing. So you can see I finished the peplum or the dress part, the body part already. I'm just working on the arms, and then it'll be the I-cord finishing and the bow ties. Okay, honestly, it looks terrible like this. But I am confident it will be cute, okay? Trust me. I'm not keeping it on because it's not cute. But yes, I'm not worried. The yarn that I'm using for it is Sandnesgarn Tynn Silk Mohair. It's held double. I'll give you a closer look of the fabric, and sorry if you see cat hairs, that's just how it is. It's the color, let me see. The color is 5581, and I think they describe it as marine. It's a really beautiful dark blue. I've been knitting a lot of blue lately. I don't know why I was more opposed to blue before, but yeah, I've been really liking it lately. It's a neutral but a less boring neutral, and I think doesn't look bad on my skin tone either. I'm knitting this, by the way, as part of a make along with Erin from Sweater and Spice, and the make along is held by, it's called the Match Along 2023, and it's hosted by M. Weekert and What Maya Made. I'll put everyone's handles in the description, but it's a make along where you knit along with the same pattern, I think, with a friend, and it carries on all the way till October, so it's a really generous deadline. I'm really glad for. I casted this on with Erin at a cute little coffee shop near us, and it was really fun meeting her. She was so sweet, and I feel like we have a lot of interest, so it's really nice making a knitting friend. The beginning of the pattern is when you do all the, is this a saddle shoulder? I don't know, but all the increases. You do a lot of increases here, so it's a lot of row counting. So I found it really hard to pay attention to my knitting because I was trying to hold a conversation too. But we managed. Somehow I didn't have to rip anything back. Yeah, this is my first time knitting with double mohair, and I chose a quite dark color as well, so it was quite the struggle counting stitches and making sure everything was progressing normally at the beginning, but I've gotten the hang of it now, so maybe I'll tackle black in the future. I know Petite Knit, I think she made a black cumulus blouse, and I think it looks freaking stunning on her. I was very, 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 very tempted. But definitely not this year. I have way too many projects planned for this year, too much yarn that I need to get through, so maybe next year. Yeah, so this is also my first time knitting with this mohair, Sandnesgarn mohair. This mohair, it's not the typical 30% silk, 70% mohair composition that you find with Filcolana and Knitting for Olives, Tynn's Knitting for Olives mohair. This one has wool in it. It's 57% mohair, 28% silk, and 15% wool. And it does feel a lot more woolly. Yeah, that's all I can say. But it still has the same lightness as regular mohair. And I also find that it's 1000% easier to rip back than Knitting for Olives or silk mohair. So for me, that's a huge plus. I know I said I didn't have to rip anything back before, but when I knit the swatch, I did rip back the swatch as I always do because I don't like I don't like cutting off the yarn for swatches. But yeah, ripping it back was a breeze. So that's a factor that really makes me consider using this as my main mohair instead of knitting for olive in the future. Maybe for more complicated patterns that I feel like I'll have trouble with, I'll go with Sandnesgarn. I don't know. I've been really liking it so far. It's so fluffy and it's not irritating to my skin. Even though I don't typically have sensitive skin anyways, but yeah, it doesn't irritate my non-sensitive skin. About the pattern itself, I showed you the saddle shoulder already. So yeah, you start from the top, you do the increases for the shoulder and the arms, you go down, and then you do the peplum, and then you have a folded over hem. I don't know if you can see any of this on this dark yarn. I think you can. Yes, okay. Oh, one thing about this yarn though, I found it, so it's a cardigan, so there's a lot of purling, and normally I don't hate purling, but yes, it is slower than knitting. But for this, I think this yarn combination, I found knitting a lot more troublesome than purling for some reason. It seemed like when I would knit, it would catch on to some fibers, and then I would have to struggle to pull the yarn through. Whereas for the purling, it was very smooth. I felt like the fibers were separating as they should, and yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if maybe it's like when I'm knitting on the purl side, I'm not knitting neatly enough so that when I'm on the knit side, all the fibers aren't neatly separated on the stitches, so that's why it catches. I don't know, but yeah, I did find it was quite troublesome on the knit side, but obviously I got through it. And yeah, I also find this is my first time doing a ruffle as well, and I think it's so cute. But oh my god, it's so much knitting. Obviously to create the volume, you need to do the extra stitches, but there were like 400 stitches on this thing. I thought I'd be knitting on this forever, but surprisingly, I think I always overestimate how long stockinette will take, straight stockinette will take. And I always get through it faster than I think. So it really wasn't that bad finishing. And you can see it's not a super long skirt either. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, I did find, so when I knit down this folded down hem, it was so difficult reading the stitches because it's so dark, obviously, and it's double mohair. But after the first few stitches, I got the hang of it, and yeah, I managed to knit the whole thing down. I think by the end, I did, you know how you're supposed to align the stitches when you fold it up? I think I did end up being off by one stitch, but I cannot see any indication of that when I like inspect the folded hem really carefully, so obviously I'm not gonna undo it. I picked up stitches for the sleeve, and I'm going to finish the sleeve pretty soon. Pick up the other sleeve. So yeah, I'm excited to have this ready for the beginning of fall. I'm excited to style it as well. The way Sandnesgarn styles it in the book, it's with this cute white dress. I have a white dress similar, but it doesn't have the sleeves, and I feel like having the white sleeves really sells it. So maybe I'll try a collared shirt under and just some shorts. I don't know. I think it'll be fun to style though. Hopefully I wear it a lot because yeah, it's a time-consuming project. The yarn wasn't that cheap, but I do really love the pattern. So yes, I'm looking forward to that. That's it for my works in progress, and I just have a few acquisitions. Actually, that Tynn Silk Mohair I didn't show last time. It's also a acquisition. I bought it specifically for the make along because yeah, when Erin asked me to participate, I didn't have any suitable yarn, so I placed the order for that. And at the same time that I placed the order for that, I also, oh, I forgot to grab it, one sec. I also got these 2 skeins of sock yarn. This is Filcolana Arwetta, their classic sock yarn. It's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. Yeah, it's a very, very vibrant red. I don't know what came over me when I was buying this. For some reason, I think I saw in one of Typical Bliss's podcasts that she wanted to knit red socks. And when I heard that, I'm like the sheep that I am, I was like, I want to knit red socks. So I bought these. I chose, I think, the most vibrant red they have. Seeing it in person, I can't tell if it's a true red or if it leans more orange. I think it does lean a little orange. But yeah, I wish I chose a slightly darker red, but it'll be fine, it'll be fine. I think I want to knit some more plain socks with it, but I don't know if I want to knit a completely plain sock. I think I might find that a little boring. So I might find one that has like a simple stitch pattern, or maybe some rib socks. Oh, I might knit Handmade by Florence's Mountain Walk socks. Those are really cute. Those, it's like ribbed but interspersed with like faux cables. I think that would look really nice. And I want to make pretty long socks. Maybe half calf. Or is that too much red? We'll see. We'll see. And, oh, I almost forgot. I also, when I do cast on those socks, I'll be casting them on these needles. I don't know if you can see. So these are double pointed needles from Signature Needle Arts. And if you don't know who they are, I believe they're a US based company, but they recently announced that they're going out of business, and they announced that they're not going to be making anymore. And if you want their needles, you need to place the order now. What I found interesting is that they didn't even put the needles on discount, but they didn't need to. The ones I bought are double pointed needles. I bought a set of 5, and they're 2.25 millimeters because that's the size that I use most often for socks. And I wanted to buy the 5-inch one, and when I looked at first, they were available, but when I checked back a week later, they didn't have those anymore, so I just went with the next best option, the 4-inch. Wait. 1, 2, 3, yes, okay. Yes, 5 inches, I'm pretty sure. Let me show you the needles. These are metal double pointed needles, and these are, if you don't know, these are very, very, very expensive needles. I don't remember exactly the price. I think the total was almost like $70 after shipping and tax. But because they're going out of business, I just had an intense feeling of FOMO, like I was going to miss out on these amazing needles if I didn't buy them now, and I would never be able to get them again. So I justified that. Also, I've been thinking that I would like to try double pointed needles for socks, just because there are some patterns that are written for double pointed needles, and obviously it's easy to adjust them to magic loop, which is what I normally use, but sometimes you have to shift over the stitches more often than you would like, and it's just not as smooth of an experience, and I'm just justifying my purchase right now, but I have some reasons. I first heard of this needle company from what's his? Oh, okay. It's Norman from Nimble Needles. I think that's his YouTube channel. He has so many great YouTube knitting tutorials. I'll put his channel below. But he has a lot of the needles, and he put out an announcement that they were closing, so that's how I found out about it. Yeah, I do find it quite sad that they're closing, even though I only kind of just found out about them. But I mean, it's sad when any crafting company goes out of business. It means less options for all of us knitters. But I'll let you guys know how I feel about those needles next time I cast on. I'll probably try to cast those on soon, just because I want to try out the needles. And we're on to my last acquisition, and it's this. Yes, I'm back to buying Noro again for some reason. This is Noro Kakigori in the color Hakodate. The composition is 50% cotton, 30% silk, 10% viscose, and 10% polyamide. So it's another nice summer fiber. Now, for me, I first heard about Kakigori from Handmade by Florence. She made her June top in one of the colors. And that is originally what I planned to make with this. By the way, this yarn I bought at a local yarn shop. It's the first time going to that yarn shop, but it was really cute. It's called the Little Knittery in LA. But yeah, I love that shop. They have a lot of Noro yarn, and they had a big pile of all of the colors of Kakigori. And I don't know, for me, I always feel like I should buy something at these local yarn stores to try to just support them and keep them open, even though I have so much yarn upcoming that I need to knit. To be completely honest, I do kind of regret buying this yarn. First off, if you see the color, it has like neon flecks on a almost dark teal color, and I just feel like this yarn on me, I don't know, I don't know, why did I choose this? So yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually make the June top with this yarn. For now, I've planned to make the Banco dress by Le Paul. I'll show a picture of it. I think it looks really cool, and it happens to use exactly 600 meters, which is how much it is here, for the whole dress for my size. So that'll be nice. Yeah, the reason why I kind of regretted buying this one is because afterwards I looked up the yarn on Ravelry just to see how the fabric would look like. I should have done this in the store, but then I don't know, I just feel like I feel a little rude doing that. I need to get over myself. But yes, when I looked up the actual fabric, I did not like how the colors were pulling. It was pretty loud to me. it's not similar to the other colors of Kakigori where the background color has a fade and it also has the flecks. This one, the background color is consistent and it's just the flecks playing with each other. So I think that's why it didn't mesh as well for me. But I did see one project on Ravelry. It was a crochet project where it was like a big lace, it was a lace crochet pattern. So that gave me an idea to do a pattern that has a lace pattern. I think that helps disperse the colors so it's not so concentrated, and I think this dress will be perfect. I don't know if I'll knit it this year because it's already the end of summer and I don't know when I would get to wear that dress. It just screams beach dress over swimsuit vibes, and I don't think I'll be going to the beach for the rest of the year. Well, who knows, but that's what I plan for now. I'm always changing around what I plan for yarn, but that I do plan to make that dress for now. And I think that is all I have for today. Since I'm snapping out of my knitting slump, hopefully I'll be here sooner rather than later. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!